check, check, check. I need the link here. Where's the link? Let's link it. Hello, good morning, guys. Give me 1 second. All right, right on. Okay. Mic volume's a bit low. Okay, let's turn that up. Check, 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 check.
Vincent Vega closing it out. Next up, got some hip hop I picked just for you. Might be some surprises too. That Mexican also.
That's the loudest I can possibly get my microphone. I'm pretty sure. Okay, guys. Top Step. Yeah, I trade on Top Step. I trade on multiple firms. Right. Let's get started. Volume is good. Guys, let's pull up Forex Factory. Maybe I'll give people a couple minutes to roll in here. It's a bit better now, eh? Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm hanging out. Slowly people will roll in here. I need some help. People saying my money on Coinbase is risky. So what that means is if you don't own the wallet, it's not legally your money, right? It's also more easily hackable, okay? So if Coinbase gets hacked or Coinbase goes under, you legally don't own any of it, okay? Unless it's on a cold wallet, exactly what you say. Where do you find a cold wallet? You can download them. Or you can buy a ledger. Tell us a story while I wait. I don't know if I can tell you the story of my grandpa. I think it's too extreme for the Maven brand. I yeah, I gotta think about stories. There's only certain things I can say. There's only certain things I can say, guys. There's a lot of good stories throughout life. One of the good ones was going to Croatia, and I think the first day I landed in Croatia. This was back when I was still drink. I still drank, right? I went out to the bars and I got rather drunk, and ended up getting a really bad hangover and breaking my phone on the very first night. And I had to drive from one end of Croatia to the other end of Croatia in a rental car, which I picked up the next morning after being super, super hungover. And I broke my phone and I couldn't figure out how to get to the place because I didn't have any GPS. And I didn't speak the language they spoke, right? They spoke a little bit of English, but the signs were not English, right? So I had to randomly kind of navigate by using my laptop, going into different cafes and tethering to their Wi-Fi to try to find the map and then follow my way across the road. And it took me all day while being hungover. And I didn't actually, my credit cards weren't working either because I had just landed and I forgot to tell my bank that I was traveling. So all my credit cards were bouncing. So I'm making this story rather brief, but it was kind of a funny story there. The kicker is I didn't know how to drive stick, and they gave me a manual car. So I kept trying to reverse, and I didn't know how to reverse, so I kept hitting the wall, and it was really embarrassing. Anyways, guys, let's dive into the CPI. CPI came in less than expected. Consumer price index, which is, I'm not sure why it's red. I believe this is good, right? Actual greater than forecast is good for the currency. I think that's kind of misleading. Basically, CPI is less than their forecast, which means the consumer price index is the change of price in goods and services by consumers, excluding food and energy. So the change in price would mean that it's gone up less than expected, right? Which means that's good for consumers' buying power, right? So that's good for the stock market. I'm surprised why it says it's bad. It's a weird thing to me. Do I trade the news? No. That would be dumb. And we can also confirm with the year over year. They did year over year, I believe, as well. Here you go. For the US, and that is exactly what is expected. Okay. The PPI yesterday as well, less than expected. PPI is the more services sold by producers, right? So same sort of thing. This should be good for the economy overall. So we can see why we're pumping here this morning is right at 5:30. We've seen that massive move, right? From the news release, okay? So we're not trading the actual news, but we can use that data. We can go and confirm, hey, that does make a lot of sense. So that's why we're pumping up here today. We are in longs today because we can see, let's pull this up here. The 4 hour closing really nice above that level. And this is simply the hunter zone where we want to be entering, okay? If we get below that, the red zone would be all of this area. We do not want to be below there because that's going to mean we're going to be changing the trend, okay? Our gold zone, or our finish line, would be anything above this level here, okay? I'm going to make this gold so that we can call it a gold zone. There you go, gold zone. That's our gold zone. Right, so you can see how things are actually the 2 hour here is slowly coming back down, so we're a little bit iffy, so we might not want to be massive risk here. The 2 hour might be bringing us back down. So we can see how the trend kind of adapts over time. That 2 hour close is not good, so we probably want to de-risk off these levels here, right? If we are in longs. That's probably what I'm going to do, actually. Because I am in a long right now. 1.5 contracts. So you can see here, I'm actually going to pull this up so you can see. I am in a long. I think we're going to de-risk some. And right at break even, basically, right?
Order filled.
And we'll see how that plays out. I think I'll actually take a little bit more off. I'm going to throw that over there. Just because that 2 hour close, I'm not sure if we're going to get some wicks down here, and we might be able to get some better entries. If the 4 hour does close, bearishly, we're going to be a bear. We have 2 hours left, though. Right, let's look at some other markets. Bitcoin, same sort of thing coming in. When Bitcoin moves, NASDAQ move, they seem to be pretty synonymous now. How long have I been investing for? I've been trading for 11 years.
That's big extra flow. Coming next, nothing but pop. Start with marshmallow.
Explain my overnight strategy. So all I do for my overnight strategy is I use dumb money concepts, and that's what I teach here for free. And I will never charge you for any sort of education, just so you know, with dumb money concepts. It will be 100% free forever. Why? Because I have zero interest in making money off of education. I have enough money already. Okay, so all I do is I look at the 4 hour close at the end of the day and the daily. That's it. I'm going to show you something. So the sessions here. So if you want, so the thing with what he's referring to, guys, is the overnight strategy I think I was talking about last year. Essentially, Asia market will drift and it'll just trend one direction. So if you can get that direction right, you can make a lot of money. It is a lot easier to trade Asia than New York. It is just slow, and you can only take one trade per day maximum, right? 0 or 1. It's basically 50-50, okay? So what you do is at the end of the day, let me show you here so you can see them. So you can see the clip between the days here, right? So right after New York closes, what you're gonna do is you're gonna look at that 4 hour candle, and if that 4 hour candle tells you, look, it's a bullish 4 hour candle closed above that level. I use dumb money concepts, right? Failed to lose that one and it closed above, so it's going to be up, right? That's it. So you just buy long. I'll show you here. Next day back. 4 hour close, right? Bullish. Okay. Look. 4 hour close. And it, so here's the thing, obviously, like, you have to target something. So this 4 hour close, and then it went bullish, okay? It ended up going bearish eventually, but you still got that move, okay? This one did nothing, it seems like. Just flat. I'm going to just show you a couple, okay? This is going to show you one more, maybe. Lost this level, right? Bearish. Right. You can also use, if you want to be more accurate, you can also use the daily close. And that'll help you determine if there's any levels. Because sometimes the 4 hours is not good enough. But I'm just basically showing you every single day. You can look like if there's a giant wick like that, then obviously it's going to go up the next day, right? But yeah. Oh shoot, that's Bitcoin. You get the point. It's the same thing basically. Bitcoin and NASDAQ are basically synonymous at this point. Is my room real? Like the background? Yeah. This is where I live. Look. Real. We're not using a green screen. Will there be a 200K account soon? Nope. Right, let's look at gold. You know, my cat wants out here. 1 second. Love it. All right, guys, let's get back to it. Talking about the cat is CGI. Oh, is it? Yeah. Is the cat CGI? Yeah, the cat CGI. The background is not, though. Nice spot. Thank you. Yeah. Try to make a second camera to show the entire screen. Yeah, what? I'm not sure what you do. You want a whole? Are you try to make a second camera? I have another camera actually back here. I'm going to set it up so you guys can see the back shot as well. We get that set up for next week. Guys, let's talk about gold. I'm getting distracted. As we were talking about, right? Maybe I should. Yeah, whoops. As we were talking about last week, we seen gold being bullish, close, and we were looking to buy off of these levels here. This was the Hunter zone, right? And would you look at that? That's where you want to buy. The red zone, where you want to exit-ish, probably below here. I would say in there. So it is Wednesday, which means we should focus on a little bit of risk management. How about? Okay, whipsaw Wednesday. Things go wonky on Wednesday. You get triple swaps on Wednesday because of the weekend. How that happens is the inflation of the pairs is delayed by 2 days. Swap is delayed by 2 days, so you get Saturday, Sunday on Wednesday, because Wednesday is the second day, right? Well, third day, right? 2 days in between. So how do we manage our trades live, right? What I would like to discuss is these sort of entry zones. I'm calling them hunter zones because we're hunting for entries. And then the red zones and the gold zones, okay? So if you want to be trading profitably, which I'm sure we all do, what you want to determine is how to manage your trades live, okay? And there's two different ways to do that. You can either be entering in as time goes on, right? Or you can have one entry and then manage the trade live. Or I guess a third option is you do nothing and you just let it go. And a lot of trading might look like this. You'll have This is what a lot of people will teach, okay? If you wanted to take a long, for example, and you took the long off of, say, here, for example, right? Off that level, okay? Say you took it off that level, and you just put kind of a random stop down here. This is the issue with traditional trading. Is now you've got a target up here, and it's very static, and you could walk away. And this is really good for when you're learning, because you're not able to manage your emotions very well. And tomorrow we can talk more about emotions. But managing our actual trades live, I know you've all heard risk 2% per trade, right? And that's all well and good, but that doesn't actually help you become a better trader. Just that blanket statement of risk 2%. You know what I mean? What happens if you're just wrong all the time? It doesn't make any sense to manage your risk by risking 2%. You know what I mean? So what we want to do is increase our odds of not losing. Say that again. Instead of thinking about risk management as risking a certain percentage and only using a certain amount per trade, you want to reduce the amount of times you lose. Okay, so risk management could look like this. Exactly what I just did is I was adding to my position. So I took a long, right? And then I took another long, and then I took another long potentially, right? As it's going against me. I know it's going up. But because I'm seeing the trend starting to change on the higher time frames, I'm getting more and more uncertain. The slower it takes to go in my direction, basically, was what I'm saying. If you don't understand DMC at all, if you don't understand dumb money concepts at all, the slower it takes, oops, let's pull that in the right spot there. So the slower it takes to go in my direction, the less likely it is going to. Okay. And you can see it's taken a while. So I'm de-risking. Okay. And that could mean if you did enter a singular trade right here and your stop loss is down here and your target's up there, the longer it takes, right? Maybe you entered right here, for example. You entered on open or something, right? And it's not done anything. Well, I probably want to be getting out of this trade slowly because it's getting less and less probability that I'm going to win. The longer it takes, the less likely it is to win, generally. So I want to be taking trades off. What I like to do is I enter these zones, right? And this is how I properly manage my risk. Is I have my hunter zone, right? My hunter zone here is this level, okay? This level here. And I want to be entering all within there. If it closes past that into my red zone, then I'm exiting for sure. But the great thing about the way the hunter zone works is I've entered at, say, the top of that zone, right? And the bottom of that zone. So now when I get back to the top, I can just close that and de-risk. So now my entry is here. And guess what? That's what happened. That's exactly what I did. Okay? I'm going to add a little bit more if it does wick down. But I'd like to make about 2,500. That'd be great. But we're not sure how that's playing out. Look at that. Well, look at that 1 hour. It failed to make a new high. So using DMC logic, if we fail to make a new high, where are we going to go? Right? So we're getting torn biases here now. And it actually might be a good idea for me to get out of this trade completely. I might actually just take some more off. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, just because this does not look that good, hey? We're going to watch the 15 minutes to get a final confirmation if we do want to close that trade out. Because this is what risk management is managing your trade and reducing the frequency of you losing. Bro just talked himself out of trade. I'm still in the trade. I'm just breaking it down for myself, and I'm saying, oh yeah, shoot, it's a pretty good chance we come down a bit lower, right? So I'm still in the trade. I reduced the risk a little bit more. So it's I'm on four micros now. That's it. Yeah. Well, what watches do I own? I don't really own any significant watches. I have a nice fake Rolex and some like $1,000, $500 to $1,000 watch. Nothing significant. This one is a duck slot. I'll show you. It looks like a Submariner. Okay. Let's see any questions. That was the lesson for today. How do prop firms make money? Just like every other business, sales. Steve Jobs says Rolex and Timex both say the same time. Yeah, of course. The difference is you're buying the brand, obviously. You could make the argument that Rolex is better than Timex, which it is because it does keep time better. Watches are not very accurate. Like my watch will be off by a few minutes every month, right? And you're also buying like history, right? But the actual product's the same, yeah. What time interval do I use? All of them. Nothing less than 15. Do you have a video on the overnight strategy? I think there might be one on my TikTok. I'm not sure though. Or you can just watch this stream back because I already explained it to you. I've been tuned into you since 2020, and you're still on Fivers. It's crazy. Have you actively been trading them through the years? I'm not on Fivers. I have because I have a. Yeah, I'm not really trading on Fivers. No, I just have. I'm just gambling. Is what it is. I trade on all the prop firms, man. I own a prop firm. I trade on them all. It's for my own experimentation, learning. It's good for, studying how other firms work, how the trading experience is for our clients, right? It's really important to have an actual trader trading on all of the firms so that we can have proper analysis of what the environments are. I couldn't clearly see the closes you spoke of. No. Just look at your own chart. If not making new highs, then coming to make new lows. That's basically the logic of DMC, of dumb money concepts. If you don't make a new high, it'll attempt to make a new low. Right? So we failed to make a new high here. So the hourly is telling us we're going to come back down here. Okay. Target that next level. Okay. But it doesn't mean, because the thing is the hourly could still come up. Right? And it could wick even. Like, we could go all the way up here, wick, and then come down and still satisfy that logic. That logic could also be wrong because higher time frames are more powerful, right? So this is where trading comes in and more difficult, because you have to look at all the time frames. Somebody was asking, which time frame do I use? I have to use them all. And the only ones I don't use are the lower ones. So this is how you start trading, is you start with the monthly. In essence, like, a monthly is too big, honestly. It's never really going to make a difference for your day trading. But you start with the higher one and then work your way down. This is why you should never trade the 1 minute, because you need to understand all of the time frames at all times. You don't just focus on the lower ones. You focus on everything above whatever time frame you're using. So I use the 15 and up, right? And that's what you should be doing. You should always be using and up. Sumo logic, yeah. I trade very similar, or I use the same logic as Sumo. DMC is based off of what he does. Can you explain the levels you speak of? Levels are always candle body closes and opens. The candle bodies, that's it. That's what levels are. There's nothing else to levels. It's super, super simple. Dumb money concepts, guys. How's today going? Yeah, today's good. Every day is good. This is our trade, right? Hunter zone, and then we go red zone here. And then we go gold zone, because that's where we get the gold, right? Up here. Okay. This is how you should be trading. Okay. See that? Because our trade, we had 2 trades. This is essentially the trade, right? Stop loss don't really matter. There's no such thing as a stop loss that matters to me. So we just throw that wherever, right? That's essentially the trade. And then we also had another one up here. Okay. I just want to start backtesting. You create an idea in your head, and then you apply it, and then you check on a spreadsheet how far it went and how much money you would have made or lost for each data point, and then you calculate the totals, and then you figure out how much money you made or lost per trade, and then you add commissions to it. So I would reduce every trade's profit by like 10%. You know what I mean? So that you can add commission. Basically, like, maybe not, I don't know what, it depends how far the trade went, but like 10%-ish. Okay, guys, and if you want accounts from Maven for free, you can join Discord. Discord.gg/Maven. So I'm just giving accounts to people. As a prop firm owner, what's your current views on the U.S. regulations and prop firm CFDs, futures located in and out of the U.S.? I am not a regulator. I cannot have opinions. I can only abide by them. And that is what I will do. How's that for a political answer? I will never answer a question like that, just so you know. Okay, guys. Any other pairs we should look at, or any other news coming? Was it FOMC soon or no? FOMC is in next week, I think, or the week after. One of the weeks. It's not this week. Great answer. Should I pull this one up? Thoughts on Forex? I don't know what that means, man. Thoughts on it's. I have no idea what you're asking. It's like the most. It's like I don't know of any question related to Forex that's more general than that. It's like that question to me just says, what do you think about fiat? It's like, what do you think about countries? Like, it doesn't make sense. Fiat in countries. Don't get it. Will XRP reach $5? Zero chance. Let's look at XRP. So if you want to look at XRP and see how stupid it is, you can go back in time. Polynix, maybe? Does this answer your question about how stupid XRP is? This was last cycle. This was the cycle before. Right? This was the cycle before, right? I'll just show you on the weekly because that was obviously like a bit of a weird one, right? This one. Like, it doesn't do anything. It never grows. Here, let me show you XRP to Bitcoin. This is going to be even funnier, I think. Polynix. Why hold XRP when you could just hold Bitcoin? The only time it has ever outperformed Bitcoin was here, right? Was like 2017. So it's like, why not just hold Bitcoin? Bitcoin is way safer. And it clearly doesn't ever do anything. I'm not going to answer questions about altcoins. They're all worthless. Where's the Discord? Discord.gg/Maven. NQ looks like it wants to come test the highs, make a new high. Yeah, it looks like that. Let's look at it. It does look like that's nice. We would like to see a 15 close up here, probably. No, that's actually pretty worthless even too. Yeah, generally, I find the hourly candles pretty worthless. Funny enough, like hourly candles don't seem to do anything for me. But it does give you a little bit of an inkling of what could be building, right? It's most likely testing the highs. Look at the 5. No, 5's worthless here. 5's not going to tell us anything. So here's all you need to know of the 15, right? So what's the targeting? Well, this, right? That's the target. It's basically already hit it, so you know what I mean? H4 depends on brokers, right? Nope. I think what you're asking is, does H4 differ across firms? It does if you're looking at futures versus FX, because FX is based off of UTC, futures is based off of Eastern time zone.
Order filled.
Let's just do that and then let the rest run. Just the last one for fun. That's the target, really. Right. We'll just do that. Cool. Okay. Give me advice on which coins have growth potential. The NASDAQ. Bitcoin. Buying a house. That's probably what you want to do. Don't buy coins. Buy things that are worthless. Or worth something. Coins are worthless. If you guys are in here and you're wanting an account, you can join. Should I put it on the screen somewhere? Discord.gg/Maven. This. Can you guys see that even? You get yourself a free account. Am I still a full-time trader? I own a prop firm. Being a full-time trader is a bad career. It's a bad career. It's incredibly stressful. It's good. It's a really good hobby for side money though, because you can trade like 10 minutes a day if you wanted to and make a decent amount of money. If you do it slow paced, right? It's long term, right? If you're not gambling, you can make a decent amount of money. But being a full-time trader is a terrible career and nobody does it really. And all of these influencers that tell you it's possible within the first decade, they're wrong. Like it'll take you a decade basically to become a full-time trader, right? There's nobody in their 20s that can do this. You joined the Discord. Yeah, just read there. There's info. There's info of what you have to do. It's a running thing that every single week people get accounts. Took me a decade doesn't mean it would take everyone a decade. I guess so. I guess you can believe that within the first decade you will be comfortably trading as your sole source of income. You could believe that, but it's good luck. I hope it works for you. The issue is that trading is so incredibly volatile that it would be incredibly irresponsible to do it within the first 10 years as your career. Yeah, 4 years not profitable yet. No. Yeah. So the reality is, the first couple years are you basically just having no idea of what you're doing, right? The next couple years, you could actually start questioning things and putting in real work, right? Into determining what makes money, right? Following SMC, ICT, all of these pattern strategies, they don't work for sure. For sure, they do not work. And everyone who tells you that they work is trying to sell you something. Find one person that does those things that doesn't sell you anything. Okay? I do not sell you education. I give it to you for free. And I do not do those things. I do DMC. I made it up myself, right? That's how you make money, is you make your own strategy. That has nothing to do with things you learn online, right? So that takes years in itself, right? It took me 2-3 years to even just do that, right? Okay. And then from there, it's going to take you a couple years to build capital. And then from there, you're probably not going to be comfortable living off of that capital and sole income, right? That's why I say a decade is a good amount of time. But you're probably thinking, hey, a decade is a long time. Well, so is working for the next 50 years. So I would advise you to do it either way, because it doesn't take much time to be a trader. You can learn like an hour. You could do it like an hour a day, spend some time studying, right? It's a very, very casual, slow-paced thing. What mic am I using? Shure SM7B. So we are adjusting our gold zone to be above there, right? Just because of the uncertainty of that close, right? This would have been the ideal, right? Well, basically this. Savvy, Mayday. Do you remember that? Hey, is that what you're singing? Is that Shay? You want to listen? Let's listen. Mayday. Shay. That was way back in the day. That was like that was like half a decade ago, 5 years ago. We would listen to this every single day. Oh, there we go. Am I shorting gold? No, we were bullish on gold. We were bullish on gold. And I told you guys why. Every single day I've been telling you guys what to do. Told you to buy this, right? That's what I told you to buy. Longs, boom. I should honestly trade things other than the NASDAQ because there are so many opportunities. What's up, Blame Jones? That's what we used to listen to. Yeah, man. I can't believe you remember that, man. Every single day we would listen to this song. Watching you for years took your trading to another level. Never been good with terminology. Always simplified what you said. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it. I should honestly pull up. I should add gold here, GC, and just start trading gold too. Because I might just be the best at everything, probably. MNQ, gold. What else do we trade in? I like futures better. Bitcoin. Let's do Bitcoin. MBT, I believe. Yeah. MBT. Oh, it's already there. Nice. Oh, and this one's Coinbase. Okay. Okay, cool. These are the three pairs you really would ever want to trade, right? What else do people trade? Nothing else really matters. Let's look at a couple things. Euro USD, just to kind of check in with the global financial markets. Okay, nice. That was a good song. Global financial markets, euro is crashing compared to the dollar. Dollar's probably going to be doing super well. If we look at the Dixie, with Trump in power, oh yeah, looking good. What are all these squiggles? Right. Trump in power, really strong strength. We broke that range that we're looking at there. Targeting these next highs here, right? So everything compared to the dollar is going to be doing bad. Canadian dollar is really terrible, so it's been plummeting, right? And we've seen a monthly close that's terrible. Terrible on the Canadian dollar. This is going to bring the Canadian dollar to the worst it's ever been compared to the US dollar. It's coming back down here. Right. Let's look at the pound too. Pound has been crashing. I remember we're talking about that the other day. We'll have to see how that weekly closes off that level because that is a nice little buyback so far. What is, oh shoot, let's look at an actual pound pair. There we go. Yeah, a couple more days on that because that's a nice little buyback off that. That would, if that does happen, we're going to be coming back up here. Being from Canada too, yeah. Yeah, Canada. Not the best country right now. What else? What else? Pound yen. So I'm not big on yen pairs because yen doesn't seem to do anything. The only reason why is because it's so controlled by the alternate pair. Like the pound is so much more powerful than the yen. But there's a lot of volume in the yen. That's why people like to trade the yen pairs. All right, weekly. It's the same thing. We got to watch that week, the wick off of it, right? In terms of daily, it's bought up, so it looks bullish on the daily. And the monthly, that would be a nice monthly buy up too, right? We did have a close on a monthly that was actually high, so this could all just be a massive fake out kind of to the downside, and it could get bought up really quickly. So I'd be careful shorting here. I wouldn't be shorting. What you thought of XRP crap? MNQ, we are currently trading the MNQ, right? See, that was the target we were looking at, right? So it does look like it's just rejecting, so I'll just close it.
Order filled.
There you go. I'll close the day with a little bit of profit. I might take another trade, guys. That's basically the stream. Let's see if there's any more questions here real quick. How's the day going? Yeah, we made 430 today. Yeah. In terms of where the MNQ is going to go further, guys, that's why we're closing out there, because the 4 hour, nice and strong. We have another hour in the 4 hour, right? So we wanted that CPI data to keep the momentum going, and that's why we're taking longs today. We've seen a close on the 4 hour that was quite nice, and we were trying to buy up in this hunter zone here. Right. Unfortunately, we didn't get an explosive move that we wanted. The 1 hour and the 2 hour started closing bearishly back within the range, so we don't like that very much. So we think there's a really high probability that this comes down. It's about 50-50 in my eyes. So I don't want to be in that market anymore, right? TikTok ban in 3 days, only if you're American. The rest of the world exists. Sorry. Where will I be streaming? A TikTok ban. I stream currently right now on X, YouTube, and TikTok all at the same time. I'm going to try to get Instagram going as well next week. Yeah, we have a schedule. I currently stream noon hour. But I might be doing the opens next week. We'll see. It's either noon or the open. Those are the two times that I have possibility for streaming. It's either the New York Open or noon in New York. And it'll be every single day, yes. Every day. Okay guys, that's the stream. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully you'll learn something. I'll see you tomorrow.